Hello, Tiger fans. Thanks for joining us on Tiger Timeout. Back from our layoff over the Christmas holiday break. Matt Payton here with you as we take a look at Tiger and Lady Tiger basketball. We start with Campbellsville's women's program, the third-ranked team in the country, and we are joined by a special guest, Miranda Denney, filling in for the head coach, Ginger High Colvin. Coach, I hope the Christmas holiday for you guys, it was quite busy. I hope it was a fun one. I know it was certainly eventful.
It was. We had a great time. Went to Miami for 4 days and then to Puerto Rico for 4 days with the team, and that's always just an awesome experience to get to share that with the girls and to get to do some things that they may never get to do again. So, and to win games along the way always helps a little bit.
I want to know who you guys made mad, though, because the weather was better at home while we were in Miami than it was. You don't expect that over December. Who gets caught in a tropical storm in December down in Miami? That's a rough one.
I blame Ginger Colvin for most things, but yeah, when we were getting flood warnings and high wind advisories, that wasn't ideal, but still managed to have a really good time.
You go down, you get a couple games, Florida Memorial and Ave Maria, and I know we're going way back now. This feels like a year ago, but a couple of nice performances for you guys, and we won't touch specifically on those games, but to go down and after the travel and do that, these are national tournament type of things that you're trying to acclimate to. I know you guys were pleased with those performances.
Absolutely. Out-of-conference games are always good because you see things that you don't always see, in conference. So playing different competition, like you say, getting used to the travel, getting used to you flew down the day before, you got to play the next day. How do you respond to all that? And I'm just super pleased with the way the girls handled everything.
And then you get the trip to Puerto Rico, and this really kind of took a turn for you guys, one that you weren't expecting. You show up and you play Inter-American. You're supposed to play Bayamon, and they had some injuries and different things, and I think ultimately said, hey, we're just not going to play. And that's a tough pill to swallow. It's not like somebody saying, hey, we're not coming to the Powell Athletic Center on Tuesday night. It was, you're in Puerto Rico, we're here for a very specific reason. It wasn't the ocean or the shopping, and then you don't have that game. Fortunately, you played. It just didn't count for the record.
Right. Obviously, we were just caught completely off guard. They sent an email and said the team had decided they didn't want to play us, so they were going to find us another opponent. So we were literally scouting the Bayamon team that moment. We were working on their scouting report at that time when we got the email, and just had to switch gears completely. And the team we ended up playing, we didn't have any information on, no stats out there, so we pretty much winged it. But the girls did great. Like I say, they responded really well, and it was a good competition. It was a good game for us.
And you turn around, you play Maguez, who you had been preparing for. You get a win, and that's a team that had some really good success down there last year. They kind of play in an island type of league. I think there's maybe 17 schools, and that's one of the better programs in terms of what they do. And you got to test early. I think maybe a little more snug than you had hoped. The Lady Tigers, however, settled in midway through the second quarter or so and put their foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, they're a very well-coached team. They had a good attack against our zone, and just so skilled that they, as a group, they were really skilled, passed the ball well, shot it well. And so it was good for us. Like you said, they challenged us. They made us put our best foot forward. And I felt like you say, after the second quarter into the second half, we kind of started establishing control. But they were a good test for us.
And you go down before the Christmas holiday, so you get back, and it's right up against the Christmas break. What's that like, getting all the girls back? I know you're flying into Louisville, trying to get them dropped off, trying to get back home, have some normal holiday yourself, but you've still got another game on the back end of this you're trying to prepare for. It really, I feel like you spent like maybe 2 weeks in just a whirlwind type of scenario.
It really is. You try to over prepare. So I tried to get most everything done before we left on the trip, just so I could enjoy Christmas at home, travel a little bit and do those sorts of things. But it is a very busy 2 weeks. It's hard on your bodies. It's hard mentally, but you find a way to get it done just so you can enjoy. Like I say, when we went to Puerto Rico, I wanted to be able to enjoy that. I wanted the girls to be able to enjoy that. That's an experience you may not get again. So it's a lot of work on the front end, but once you get there, totally worth it.
Yeah, Santa Claus had to be completely done at our house before we had left to go down, because the last thing you want to do is come back on the 23rd or 22nd, whatever it is, and need things. You got to have all that stuff kind of ready and situated so all those things can go off without a hitch.
Yeah, and then Christmas being on a Monday, I think it was, you couldn't really do much on that Sunday. Yeah. Most everything was closed, so you were in a pinch when you got back.
Quite dicey. And then, as if losing an opponent down in Puerto Rico wasn't enough, I guess maybe things balanced out to some degree. You expect to go down to Pikeville, and I've said for years, Pikeville's a nice place once you get there. The problem is the getting there part. But they've got issues with their gym, and Coach Williams reaches out to you guys and says, listen, and I know there had to be a moment where you're thinking, we can't lose another contest in terms of not play it. We've got to play this somewhere, somehow. Fortunately, folks at Campbellsville made that happen. Pikeville made the trip here, and you guys got an impressive win. Yeah,
we were actually at a scrimmage when we got the text from Coach Williams at Pikeville. Said they were having issues with their gym. Would they be able to play in Campbellsville? And I looked at Ginger and I was like, this has to be a joke because Pikeville is the worst drive. But like you say, beautiful town once you get there, but just getting there. So kudos to all the people at Campbellsville who pulled together, made that happen, and let us have a home game. And kudos to Coach Williams at Pikeville. He's a great guy and was very easy to work with, and just were able to make it happen, which was great for us. It was super nice to be able to stay at home.
The Lady Tigers got the win over U-Pike. They had so many games between this layoff, we didn't even get to all of them. They also had a matchup with Faulkner. We'll step away and we'll talk with Coach Denney about that when we get back. We'll also look ahead as they battle Cumberland's and Cumberland University on the road in Mid-South Conference play this week. Stay with us here on Tiger Timeout.
What if you could feel in control of your retirement in just a few clicks? At aceyourretirement.org, you can. Start with a free 3-minute chat with Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer some simple questions like, how do you feel about your ability to save for retirement? Or in how many years do you want to retire? To get free action items customized just for you, get your retirement back on track at aceyourretirement.org.
As a dad, every day is a challenge.
To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them.
It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to
Trying to teach them.
when they learn something new and you can just see in their faces. It's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
Tiger Timeout continues here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. We take a look at Lady Tiger basketball here on the road this past weekend to Faulkner. It's a team that's been in the national tournament year in and year out under Coach Reed Sutton, and Coach Miranda Denney joins me. You guys took to the road. It's a program that may be a little down from what they're used to, but still a quality opponent, one you can't overlook. And Maddie Boyle certainly did not overlook them. I don't know if we've got the box for that one, but Maddie Boyle with a new career best 31 points, a couple of rebounds there as well. But the big thing for her, 9 made threes, Coach. She ties the school record. Caitlin Wilkes with 11 and 9. Courtney Pritchett, 7.6 assists, 6 steals. So a 95-63 win over a very good Faulkner team, and one that's certainly a feather in the hat and building the resume for the postseason. But how about Maddie Boyle? Again, 9 threes, ties Caroline Owen and Lexi Lake. That's a pretty good grouping to be in there.
12th region, pretty prestigious 12th region group there. But no, so happy for Maddie. She's had such a great year, just so consistent for us, and doing everything really. But shot the ball extremely well there. Just kind of got hot. I didn't realize how hot she was. Mm-hmm. And then looked at a stat sheet, and we were in the third quarter. She had 7, so I knew we had a chance to do something special there. And she actually had a shot at the end of the game. We had one last shot, in and out. Would have set the record. But again, just so proud of her. She's played good basketball, the best basketball of her career, and just great to see her go out like this.
And she was Player of the Week this week. I don't know that we've been on since she won it the last time. So she's been twice this season now, Mid-South Conference Player of the Week, certainly well deserved. And selfishly, I'm always looking ahead and trying to figure out what, the big moments and the big games and things. And for you guys, really it was the Caitlin Wilkes 1,000 point club as Kate chases that. Who knew Maddie was going to go and try to break the school record for made threes in a single game? So I told her I missed a chance to use my favorite 4-letter word quite
That's
a
right.
bit.
You would have used it a lot
on that Saturday. But you get the Faulkner game in, you make the return trip home. Now finally, here you are, January the 10th. You'll get to or January the 11th, you'll get to Mid-South Conference action. You finally get into the Mid-South Conference slate. It's a far cry from what you've been used to in years past as Cumberland's awaits this week.
Yeah, last year, I think November 26th or something, we're playing our first conference game, and had played several before Christmas. So this is different with the smaller conference starting after Christmas. I do like it. I like the fact that you get all your non-conference pretty much in before Christmas, and then you can kind of focus in on your conference games. But a really tough opponent on Thursday in University of the Cumberlands. Been ranked nationally all season long. Just a really great team. Most everybody back from last year, so very seasoned, play extremely hard, and they'll be a tough matchup for us.
So we'll take a look at the numbers from this upcoming matchup with the Patriots. Campbellsville, the third-ranked team in the nation. They will battle the Patriots in Williamsburg there on Thursday, 5:30 the start time. Campbellsville 13-1, 95 points a game. Cumberland's 90 points a game, Coach, 11. I think they actually won over Bryan here recently. So the Cumberland's 12-4, 90 points a game. I believe the top two of the top three scoring offenses, scoring teams in the country. So I expect a 55-54 final, no doubt, in Williamsburg. That's how it goes with you guys, though. Over the years, we've seen that. It gets to be kind of knocked down physical dragouts with the Patriots.
It is. Conference play, I feel, is gonna be that way most of the time. Just everybody's tendencies, and you know how to kind of defend against what they do. But obviously, two very high-scoring teams, and could be an exciting game.
And for them, their ability to shoot the ball with Destiny Hayworth and the Monday Twins and Amara Steele, they've got a lot of pieces. Slowing them down offensively is going to be a key. And you break it down, looking at it, what are some things that you guys have to kind of focus on?
Transition defense, for sure, and rebounding the ball. They're all so ball hungry. Even the little Monday girl, I think she's 5'5", 5'6", almost leads them in rebounds. Yeah. She just goes after everything. So we'll have to be competitive, have to be on our best game, but defend the three-point line, stop transition, and rebound the basketball. And
then Cumberland U on Saturday, Coach. The Phoenix, this is a really interesting dynamic with their team. Coach Bloom will wrap up his tenure there. They've got a new head coach in place. I can't imagine all the things that go into that, but maybe even makes them more dangerous, a team that would love nothing more than to pick off number 3 at their place.
Absolutely. And for whatever reason, they've been a tough matchup for us. If you remember conference tournament last year, they played us to a one-point game, played us extremely tough. They're physical, and like you say, they have nothing to lose. This would be, a huge banner for them if they were to go out and beat us. So we'll obviously have to give them our best.
And let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Campbellsville University's women's basketball team in its entirety here, at least the next couple of weeks. We talked about Cumberland's and Cumberland University this weekend. It's a 5:30 start Thursday evening in Williamsburg, 2 o'clock in Lebanon, Tennessee on Saturday, both of those games on 88.7 The Tiger. And then a couple of home matchups, Bethel University, Freed-Hardeman University, and Lindsey Wilson College over a 3-game stretch, Coach. So you're in the thick of it. Now you're back to maybe what feels like a little more normal in your schedule. Is that good or bad? I mean, being in the Mid-South, it's a tough league, but having more of that consistency, it's not a Tuesday, it's not a Wednesday, it's fairly consistent from here on out.
Yeah, I think it's good to know your schedule, to know the days you're going to lift, the days you're going to play. Just having a consistent schedule is good. And conferences, it's the best time of the year. It's what you play for, and so we're excited for it.
Coach, excited for this weekend. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Coach Miranda, Denney, and the Lady Tigers again in action. Mid-South Conference doubleheaders coming your way Thursday and Saturday on 88.7 The Tiger. I'll have the call for all 4 men's and women's contests. We'll step away here, come back and we'll come back and visit with the head coach of the Tigers, Brent Vernon, here on Tiger Timeout.
Jason, let's go see your room.
No, that's not right. How is it? Is it good?
Hello, Tiger fans. Welcome back to Tiger Timeout here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. We transition over to Tiger basketball. They're back in action this week as they'll take on Cumberland's on the road. Cumberland University awaits on Saturday. The head coach joins me now, Brent Vernon. Coach, it's been a little bit. I don't even know when the last time we were in these chairs almost. I know it was before Christmas. I hope the holiday season treated you and your family well.
It was good. A lot of basketball. I'll say that's all really the Vernon family does, but we did get a few days off of just being able to have family time, and obviously that's very enjoyable, but short break, short-lived, and right back to work.
I know coaches are kind of creatures of habit to some degree, and in-season mode is very, it's very consistent in the things that you want to do, whether you're preparing or practicing. Is it hard cold turkey just to turn it off, let all your guys go home, and you've got 5, 6, 7, 8 days to hang out, or is it a good breather?
For me, it's a good breather. Sometimes, it was a little too many days, but 5 or 6 days, what I think would be perfect. It's not real hard at all. Like I said, I got to enjoy. I got to watch my son's team play, my daughter's teams play. Obviously, my wife coaches that team, so it wasn't as much of finagling a whole bunch of schedules, just a couple of schedules instead of throwing mine in there. But you also get to take the time whenever my son's playing in Christmas tournaments to be able to recruit, and that's something we need to be able to get out, especially with the amount of guys we have coming back next year. We're really targeting some good high school players. So, no, it's not hard for me to be able to wind that down for a little bit and try to re-energize.
And when you go, I always love to talk about the recruiting with you and other coaches around campus, but when you go to these events, how long does it take you to identify a player that, okay, we really want to get a look at? Is this obviously coaches from around the state or others are going to send you, hey, I got one here, I got one there. How difficult is it for you to, because look, you got hundreds of student athletes up there, and you've got to drill down to 10, 12 or so, maybe even less than that.
Yeah, well, it's very hard. I'm going to say, you can't see eyes on everybody. You have a lot of eyes out there that, people don't even know about trying to help you out. But a lot of times when we get to the games, we are going to watch someone that we've previously seen or heard about. But it's always good to get there and see other good competition to find somebody who you don't quite know or you've heard about and not be able to see. So I would say it's probably on the bigger end of we know who we're watching and what we're trying to look at. We normally know that they're probably good enough. It's trying to look at all the other intangibles to see if it fits what we want. But you always get lucky or it's one of those things, sort of luck of the dice, roll of the dice, you could say, that you see somebody that you weren't quite sure about. And that's why the Christmas tournaments are so good, because there's so many games in a day.
You got the break, you did some recruiting, you get back to it, you go to Joliet, Illinois. You've got a couple of games there right after the holiday with East-West on a Sunday, the previous day, St. Francis. You get a couple of big wins. Chandler Clements hits a game winner there to knock off the host school, knock off East-West. So you came right back out of the break, maybe a little rocky out of the gate against St. Francis, but 2 big wins that you needed in non-conference.
Very big, and you look at it, 19 days in between games after a 10-day layoff to where they're at home. Are they getting in the gym, conditioning? Probably, but is it the right work all the time? Probably not. It's probably enough to maintain a little bit. So, we get back the day after Christmas and we basically get 3.5 days to prepare. You'd like to be able to go some 2-a-days, but you really can't, especially when you look at our numbers of what we have, to where you're basically going, you have 9 dressed, and you're trying to get through, and back-to-backs are incredibly tough. I thought for the first 10 or 15 minutes against St. Francis, we were incredibly good. But then I think really quickly the fatigue started setting in. And it wasn't that we developed bad habits, but it's just being able to mentally fight through it. Really went through a bad stretch for about 20, 25 minutes. The last 5 minutes, we showed a great deal of urgency, and then could say, the ball finally bounced our way a little bit. We've had some unlucky bounces in the past, few past years and stuff like that. But we finally got it to go our way and make some plays late. And then obviously Chandler made a huge shot basically as time expired. Yeah,
you draw up a play, and I don't think that was the initial thought. Jace had to kind of improvise a little bit, look back, and we talked about this after the game. It was a contested shot, but the way Chandler shoots it, he gets higher, so it wasn't like some others that may have been a little more challenging, and he knocked down a big one.
It was. We were down basically 7, maybe even 9 with about a minute 12, 13 left, and only had 2 timeouts, which was unfortunate, but our last timeout came with 30 seconds. So you talk about that timeout, we really were coaching for a 30-second play, basically, you know, talking about the press, when to foul, how we're going to foul, offensively, not to settle for threes and still get to the rim. So whenever we got the ball, you know, down 2 on our side of the floor, we didn't have a timeout to call, and it was Jace to the rim. We were not thinking to go for the win. They did a great job defending that, and then Chandler was the guy who was open. Jace made a very good pass. You know, luckily Chandler being right-handed, and like you said, the way he shoots it, he had a defender coming from the left side, but it was contested, but couldn't get his hand on the shot.
Big win for you guys, and we'll quickly look at the win over Clinton College this this past weekend in the Powell Center, 89-70. Jay Milburn with a big double-double. Coach Jace Wallace good again. Chandler Clements also a double-double. Not shown there. Tyrell Hunt had 12 rebounds for you guys. You continue to kind of grind these things out, and it's always somebody different. You know, Jay Milburn here. Jace Wallace was quiet in the second half, but he got a big bucket late that probably put it out of reach. Again, a total team effort for you all.
It was, and Clinton College, you know, they've played an incredibly tough schedule. Have played some Division II teams, Division I's. They were averaging 94 points a game, and we held them to 70. You know, only gave up 29 in the first half, which was incredibly good. Second half, I wouldn't say we were bad, but maybe just not quite as sharp as we needed to be. But very, very proud of our guys. Again, we've been protecting home court well, doing what we needed to do, and it gave us good momentum heading into conference play this week.
The Tigers enter conference play with a 12-2 record. They'll start the Mid-South Conference slate against Cumberland's on Thursday in the O. Wayne Rollins Center. We'll step away, come back and talk with the head coach about that matchup with the Patriots. Stay with us here on Tiger Timeout.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Closeout segment here on Tiger Timeout this week. Thanks for joining us on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton visiting with the head coach of Tiger basketball, Brent Vernon. They get into Mid-South Conference play this week. Thursday, they're in Williamsburg to take on Cumberland. They'll make the trip to Lebanon, Tennessee on Saturday to battle the Phoenix of Cumberland University. And Coach, here we are finally, close to mid-January. You're going to get into conference play. It's kind of a wild wait. You know, we've talked to some teams already have 10 or 12 conference games. You look at guys and gals in the Appalachian, they've been at it since early November. Here you are, mid-January. It's a different scenario from where you've been in past years.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think by this time last year, 9-10 games like you're talking about, and it is different. It was hard to get the non-conference schedule. It was hard to find a total number of games. In fact, we're one short, trying to still add another one. But it's different. But it's been good for our guys, and they've been anxiously waiting for this. They know what our conference is about, and in their minds, they have something they'd like to prove, but every game is just one game, and every game is going to be tough in the league. It's never going to change from that. So, good week of preparation as we get ready for tomorrow night.
A lot of new names and faces for Coach Matt Daniel and Cumberland's the Patriots. Jonathan Brown, obviously a guy that you'll have to prepare for. He was dynamic here at the Powell Center when they played in the Classic earlier this year. 14-1 non-conference. You guys are 12-2 non-conference as you get ready for Thursday evening.
Yeah, I think they're ranked 12th in the nation and have only had one slip up, and that was, I think, right before Christmas. But no, very good team, very explosive, can really score the basketball, as you said, Jonathan Brown. But they have a lot of players. J.J. Ramey's playing as good as anybody on their team right now, has really found a good groove and is really shooting the ball well at 43% from three. They have a lot of good pieces. You know, may have a big guy who just got eligible, sort of waiting, has not played a game yet. But for us, it's still about us. We have to find some things that maybe they may struggle with that we can take advantage of. But we have to trust what we're doing, continue to do that, and just lean on each other like we have all year so far.
And then the big game Saturday at Cumberland University, and that's a contest, Coach, where there was a coaching change. Coach Lewis left. Coach Evans takes over, I think, kind of an interim basis for now. He's trying to earn a job for the future, and it's a Cumberland Phoenix team. They've been in some games, not in some games. That roster's underwent a lot of changes. That's one maybe a little more difficult to prepare than they would be in years past.
It is, but they've played a really nice schedule. The record may not be what it has been in the past, but a lot of that has to do with all the change they've made. I've been very impressed with what I've seen. You know, they've fallen short to some really good teams, but have been really competitive. And again, with the coaching change, a few guys decided maybe it wasn't the right decision for them to stay with the university and gone on. So Coach Evans in a very difficult situation. I think he's done a fabulous job. And again, on the road in league, it doesn't matter who you play. It's really tough. And I've always said if you win on the win on the road, it's almost like a game and a half. Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, the team that wins our league will probably have the best road record. So we got 2 on the road. It's not maybe the way you want to start, but at the same time, we go and take care of business. You'll feel very good about yourself.
Absolutely. And the Tigers will have the 2 on the road as we look at their upcoming schedule. They've got the 2 on the road this week, and then they get home for a spell. They'll have Bethel University and Freed Hardeman coming in over that weekend in the middle of January, then Lindsey Wilson College here on a Thursday evening as well this week. Cumberland's a 7:30 start time for the Tigers on Thursday evening. Saturday, it is a 4 Eastern start down in Lebanon, Tennessee for Campbellsville University. All of those games will be on 88.7 The Tiger. And Coach, you mentioned Cumberland's getting perhaps an eligible big man. You had to go and dip into the portal or whatever you want to call it these days. You had to find one. The injuries have really been unkind to Campbellsville University's men's basketball team this year. You needed a little help. You didn't go too far down the road to grab some help. Yeah, no, Tasha Epps from Marion County, he's going to join us Thursday. Will be his first game available, but he's been here since we came back from the break and been practicing with us and just trying to figure out where he fits in. He's done a nice job, obviously, not playing this last semester and sitting out, not in the shape he would like to be in, but has really been competitive, has done a nice job of figuring us out. Obviously had some ties because we have so many Kentucky guys. So I do believe it's a very good fit. He's a guy that in high school and junior college played on good teams, was a starting point guard at his junior college who made it to the Final Four last year. Very defensive minded, plays extremely hard, handles the ball well, quick, athletic. We're very happy with the addition. And again, it's one of those midseason transfers are hard, but we've just lost so many guys. And it's one of those that it happens at times. But our guys, like we've said all year, have really handled it well. Have taken on a role of next man up, and everybody's done that. And, you know, we expect Tasha to jump on board and do the same thing. Tasha Epps will make his debut, we believe, on Thursday against the University of the Cumberlands on the road, 7:30. Coach, best of luck this weekend. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. The Tigers in action again, Williamsburg on Thursday night, Cumberland University on Saturday against the Phoenix. All those on 88.7 The Tiger. For the head coach of Tiger basketball, Brent Vernon, as well as Lady Tiger assistant Miranda Denney, Matt Payton. We'll see you next time on Tiger Timeout.